Hey guys! I'm here with my 1 week postpartum update. Today I am 1 week and 1 day. This is just the first time I've been able to kind of like sit down and chit chat. As you can tell, my hair is not done, my makeup's not on, and I have my glasses on. And that's kind of how I've been the whole week. I have no will or need or want to put on makeup right now, so I'm not. And that's just kind of how it is. That's how I feel. But I feel really good. Actually, I can't talk lately though. I feel really good. I'm very tired. And I want to do a labor and delivery video, but I have so many like little clips that it's going to take me a while to edit, so I didn't want to miss my postpartum update. But to start, I'll do my weight. So I delivered at 168, and today I was 145, so I have about 12 pounds before I'm at my pre-pregnancy weight, which was 133. So that's super exciting. The weight's just kind of like melted off. I haven't changed my diet or anything. So I'm sure it's breastfeeding. A lot of it was swelling. And Presley was 6 pounds and 15 ounces, so she was so tiny, and I was so shocked. And you'll hear it in the video when I do my my labor and delivery video, and they told me the weight. I was like, oh my goodness, because if you've been following me, my son was 8 pounds 9 ounces, so I was just shocked at how small she was. And she's napping right now, but I will introduce you guys to her. She'll wake up at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see, the first couple nights, she had her days and nights mixed up. So I'd say the first 4 to 5 days, I didn't sleep at all. I took advantage of the hospital, and they let you, like, they didn't have a nursery at the hospital because it's a newer hospital, but the nurses, like, offered to take her while she was sleeping so I could sleep sound, or hold her and stuff, and they kind of held her and let me and Patrick sleep a little bit because we had gotten maybe 3 hours that first night. So the second night I was like, yes, like, go ahead, take her for a little bit, just bring her back for breastfeeding. And they did that, so I got about 3 hours solid there, and then she stayed in the room, so we got a little bit off and on. But so that was really awesome. I did take advantage of that. Some people don't because they get nervous about it, but their security and like the way they check the tags, I was very comfortable. I felt very comfortable with her out of the room. So I just went ahead and took advantage of that. And my husband only had 2 paid days off. So we delivered Monday, and then, right? Yeah, we delivered Monday and thought we were going to go home. We delivered Monday night at 7:33 p.m. So we thought we were going to go home at 7:33 p.m. the next day, because usually it's 24 hours. That was not the case because it was late at night, and not super late, but late. They wanted to keep us till the next morning. So we didn't leave till Wednesday morning. So he ended up taking Wednesday off, which I'm super glad about because it was our first day home and my husband got to be there. And it was just like an exciting time, and I didn't want him to miss it. But he could not help me that night because he had to work, and he gets up at like 5:45, and he won't get home sometimes till like 7. So he slept on the couch downstairs, and my mom stayed with me for 2 nights. Well, my mom had to work too. She wasn't planning on it, but she ended up having to go to work. So she tried to help at night, but I felt bad because I'm like, you have to work and you have to get up. Like, I can sleep during the day. I'll sleep when she naps. She did not sleep at all at night for the first probably 4 to 5 days. Anytime I put her down, she would be up and like hated being put in the cradle, hated being put down. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So probably for 3 days when we were home, I got 6 hours sleep total. I could not sleep during the day when she napped. I still cannot sleep during the day when she naps. I don't know why. But that's just kind of how I am. I don't know if I felt like I was missing out because everyone else was awake, or I was nervous. I know I was really nervous about at night going to bed, and I didn't want to hold her in my arms and fall asleep. I was very terrified of that. It did happen a couple times, but I would be like very alert and like wake up every 15 minutes and check on her. Everybody's guilty of that. I'm so sure everybody's guilty of that, but I really did not want to do that, and I still don't want to do it. So that was Wednesday night, Thursday night, and then Friday night my mom went home, and my husband stayed up with her for 3 hours and held her while he watched TV up until like from 9 to 12, so I could get 3 hours straight sleep, and then I had her the whole night. There's not much he can do. So he was able to do that for me because the weekend he could sleep in, but like I have the milk and at that point in time, like if I'm already up feeding, I don't feel like it's fair to wake him up just to change her. That's just personally how I feel. Like, why do both of us have to be up? At least he can get some sleep, and if I need help in the morning, he could take her. That's how I felt about it. There's not much when you have the milk that they can do. So I definitely, like, I completely understand why people go to formula or give up on breastfeeding. Breastfeeding has been probably the hardest. Breastfeeding and sleeping have been the hardest parts. We had trouble latching, and it was very frustrating for me, and I know it was frustrating for Presley, and it was very frustrating. And then with formula, they sleep longer, so I knew she would sleep better at night because with Aiden, I tried breastfeeding, it just didn't work out, and it wasn't promoted back then as much as it is now. So I knew that she would sleep better with the bottle just based on how he was. So I totally get it. I totally get like being able to like leave the house and all they have to do is a formula bottle and you don't have to pump or worry about pumping while you're gone to keep your milk supply up. I totally get it. However, I felt like what's best for Presley and what's best for me is to breastfeed. So we got the hang of it finally. It's gotten a lot better, and it got a lot better once my milk came in as well. So she started sleeping longer when my milk came in. So if you are trying to breastfeed, I encourage you just get past the point where your milk comes in because it does get easier. The colostrum doesn't keep them full very long, even though they don't need a lot. If you're having trouble latching, they're not getting everything, and it is frustrating, but just hold on, it will get better. I did use a nipple shield, but I weaned off of that quite quickly because I know that her directly on the breast is what helps the cells, like if she's getting sick, to produce the colostrum again and stuff like that. So yeah, that was very frustrating. But we are sleeping a little more through the night. I still cannot nap, so I don't know why. So I'm still very tired all the time. I probably get 5 hours of sleep every night. Because sometimes she's in a wake cycle at night and she's just up. And usually during the day, if it's a wake cycle, there's stuff for her to look at and pay attention to, or there's noises around. But at night, there's no noises, so she gets flustered or frustrated and cries. I get it. So still working on that. But the key was to try and keep her up during the day more. And definitely my milk coming in helped. So Patrick and I that weekend tried to keep her up as much as we could, and then the weekend went a lot nicer. So that's kind of how postpartum has been with baby. How physically I have been. I had an epidural, so the first night I was very, very sore. It took a while. My whole left side was numb. My right side really did not get numb. So it took a while for the left side to wear off, so I couldn't go to the bathroom for a while. And it is a chore to go to the bathroom after a vaginal delivery because you have to irrigate. Is it irrigate? Like squirt water on yourself. You can't wipe. You're scared to go poop because you don't want to push. Your stitches are sore. You're swollen. There's a lot to do. You got to put the pads on and that big flexi underwear that they give you at the hospital. So it's a chore to go to the bathroom. It's still kind of a chore to go to the bathroom. It gets easier every single day, especially since my bleeding has slowed down since I'm breastfeeding. But it is a chore still. You still have to get the water bottle, I guess, until your stitches dissolve. I don't really remember what they told me, but that's what I'm going to do. Which I don't know when they dissolve. I'll look that up probably. I think they said about 14 days or something like that, like 2 weeks. I don't know. But yeah, so it gets a little easier. I did take stool softener at the hospital, and then they said I could buy it over the counter because I was really nervous about going to the bathroom. So they gave me 2 at the hospital, and I never went there, but I did when I get home. I'm not comfortable going in like other places, so my body never does. But when we got home, it was fine. So I had my mom buy over-the-counter ones. Well, it affected Presley as well, so she had some blowouts, and it was like a diaper right after another. Like she just went and then went again. So I did not take it anymore. So I'm doing like apple juice and like natural softener stuff. But yeah, because it was affecting her, so I only took one at home, and I don't really need it anymore. It's still a little nerve-wracking, but as time goes, it gets easier. So that was my whole tangent on poop. But yeah, your husband sees a whole new side of you. That poor thing, he sees like the ugly underwear with the big pad, and that's kind of like what I wear to bed, or wore to bed for the first couple days. And I mean, your trash can's constantly filled with bloody water or bloody pads, and like it's not attractive. Postpartum is not attractive at all. Not to mention, like, I'm leaking everywhere now that my milk is in, and my boobs are huge. He's commented on that. He's like, that's just one. And it looks like one looks like it should be two. So I'm big to begin with, so when my milk came in, it was really big. Like, my mom's commented on it too. But it's been good. I mean, I feel like I'm getting back to myself. Like, my affection for my husband definitely came back immediately after I gave birth. So that was weird, because I always had affection for him, but like the physical affection kind of went away or dwindled off while pregnant. Well, the second I had her, like, I wanted him to lay in bed with me and cuddle me and hold me, and like that intensified so much, and I held on to him so much. So that was kind of weird, and I don't know if he noticed. I have to ask him about that. But I did tell him my affection for him came back. He goes, well, that's good. But I wonder if he noticed it without me saying something. So speaking of affection for my husband, he went back to work pretty much immediately, and I cried every day. Like, if I'm not a crier. If you know me, I'm not a crier. I have been so emotional. So emotional. Like, I have cried. I did not cry yesterday. Yesterday is the first day I did not cry. So 7 days after giving birth was the first day I did not cry. I have cried every day before then, especially when my husband went back to work. I cried. I just wanted him there. I felt like I was being left all alone, and that was upsetting to me. And then I was emotional about the fact that, like, he leaves before I wake up, and then he comes home and he's ready to go to bed again because he gets home so late and he works so early. So I was so emotional about that. And I pretty much can cry at the drop of a hat. Like, if I wanted to cry about it right now, I totally could. But no, it has gotten better, and every day gets easier with her. Every day gets easier with me because I can do a little more. I have noticed if I do too much, I bleed heavier and I get lightheaded, and like my body feels a little limp, so I have to be careful not to push it. I don't want to push it either because I don't want to mess up any healing going on in my body because your organs are still all going back, and I don't want to mess with any of my stitches or anything like that. So definitely still taking it easy, but not doing nothing. I am doing laundry, did a couple things of dishes. People are still cooking for us, which is amazing because I don't have the need, I don't have the want to cook right now. Like, it seems like a lot of energy, and I can't even think about cooking right now. So I'm glad, like, people are still coming to help us and giving us meals, and we have some frozen meals. So that's good. I really recommend frozen meals, or having your parents come cook for you during the week. And it also gives them a chance to see the baby, which they're going to love. So maybe suggest that to your parents or grandparents or whatever. So yeah, super emotional. My son's been doing really well with the whole delivery. He saw her and he tried so hard not to cry. Like, he was just like in giggling fits because he was trying so hard not to cry when he saw her. And he said it was the happiest day of his life. It was so sweet. All he wants to do is hold her and like help. And it's hard because he wants to just pick her up and he can't because he's 8 and he doesn't know how to properly do it. And he wants to help. Well, if she makes a noise, he like wants to go over there and touch her and like rock her or push the cradle. It's so sweet, but like I have to remind him you can't like go over there and bug her. She'll put herself back to sleep. Just because she makes a noise doesn't mean she's awake. and you can't hold her without mommy or papas, which is what Aiden calls Patrick. And that's been a little difficult for him because he feels like such a big boy, and I know he wants to help, and he's loud. He's running all over the place, and I have to remind him, so I feel bad about that. But he is loving it, and he's enjoying it, and he has been a big, big help. So yeah, that has been going really well. We did skin to skin with him. I did skin to skin. Patrick did skin to skin. I do skin to skin daily. Aiden holds her pretty much daily, and Patrick holds her daily, of course. But he needs to do a little more skin to skin. It's just hard when he's yucky when he comes home and he's gone all day pretty much. So the weekends he will be doing some more skin to skin. But yeah, I'm still in like loose pants and everything. Other than that, like, I feel pretty good. I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like there's so much, but like, it felt like so much to tell you guys because the first couple days were so emotional because I was so tired and so drained and emotional because my husband's going back to work. So like, I just feel like I was a mess, and I had like definitely postpartum blues, and I was like terrified it was going to be postpartum depression, and I was worried about her constantly. Like, is she breathing? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know why I worry so much. I'm a little better now, but I worry a lot. And my husband was like, I won't let anything happen to her or you. You're fine. I swear. Like, he's been so great through the whole thing. Like, it just lets me cry on him when he gets home. So he's been very sweet. But I guess that might not be everybody, but maybe expect a lot of emotions, because that's definitely what I felt. But I'll go ahead. I guess I'll show my belly, my postpartum belly. But okay, so I'll stand up and I'll show, I have to move the tripod, so I'll show my belly and then I'll get Presley and I'll introduce her. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you in my next video. So I have a little bump right here still, but everything's kind of gone down. Still a little swollen, but everything looks good. And I still have the line and everything like that. Alright everybody, she's still sleeping, so I don't want to wake her. But her little hat says little sis. And this is Presley Rose. She's so precious. You'll see her in other videos, but I didn't want to wake her. So, there she is. All her cuteness and in her dock tot. See y'all in my next video. Bye guys.